Captain America, Indiana Jones. If you haven't heard, there's been some game file leaks that hint towards these two iconic characters being brought into Call of Duty, assumedly as Vanguard operators. Now, I'm not discussing those leaks any more than that in this video. I'm saving my hype for the actual drop. But these leaks got me wondering what other pop culture characters would fit well in the World War II era in a game like Call of Duty Vanguard. So I made a list of 5 characters that I want to share in this video, none of which are superheroes. I feel like that's the easy answer, and as much as I'd like to see a giant Marvel and DC crossover in Call of Duty, there are no superheroes on my list. I've been thinking outside of the box for this one. For example, the first potential candidate for a World War II themed operator on my list is James Bond. I was going to say the one and only James Bond, but as the dozens of movies have shown, there are multiple Bond characters, and the Bond character can be placed in any point in time. But if you're super nitpicky about lore and timelines and stuff, the original James Bond served during World War II before becoming a 007 agent. So time-wise, a young James Bond in Call of Duty Vanguard completely makes sense. And that's kind of the theme for all 5 of my characters on this list for this video, is that it makes sense for them to be in Vanguard canonically when it comes to time periods and stuff. Moving on though, character 2 is truly outside of the box. What if Granny from Looney Tunes was an operator in Vanguard? It's actually a pretty similar scenario to the James Bond time period, where the character Granny can be placed at any point in time. They already do these in the cartoons. I mean, Granny as a character was introduced in the late 1930s, just before World War II started. There also was a flashback episode of Looney Tunes within the last 10 years, I think, where they revealed that Granny was a spy during World War II. So she fits in the World War II era perfectly. The thing with animated characters though is they could be hard to translate into live action well. But with Granny, I mean, all you need is to do the hair and then throw on the iconic Granny dress, voice a couple unique voice lines, and bam, you have yourself a sweet new operator. It's something no one really would expect, but at the same time, everyone knows who the character is. Y'all ever watch the original Karate Kid? Because Karate Master, Mr. Miyagi, would be sick to have in Vanguard. He is the 3rd character on my list. And Mr. Miyagi was actually a soldier in World War II within the Karate Kid story. There was a scene, I think it was in the first Karate Kid, where Mr. Miyagi reflects on his time he spent serving during World War II. It was more of an emotional scene. But it would be cool to have either a young or old Mr. Miyagi in a COD game. I'd imagine they could go more so the movie route and Americanize Mr. Miyagi some and make him like an operator while he was serving for the US, like I believe he was in the movie. Or Sledgehammer could take some more creative liberties and make Mr. Miyagi a skin for a Pacific Front operator. Although if they were to go that route, I doubt the movie studios would actually allow that to happen. But I saw there was some leak about it's like potential nunchucks weapons coming to Vanguard sometime soon. Either way, Mr. Miyagi had a bunch of different weapons that were in his dojo, and you could easily tie him in with a brand new melee weapon they add to the game that could be like, you know, a karate stick or something like that in the future. I think it'd be a pretty cool idea. The 4th operator concept is Fauno from Pan's Labyrinth. First things first, I gotta plug Pan's Labyrinth. I highly recommend watching it if you haven't seen it. It is as altruistic as a Guillermo del Toro film can get. Like at first glance, Pan's Labyrinth and most of Guillermo del Toro's films look like there's something out of a kid's movie, but they're not. Pan's Labyrinth is rated R. It explores adult themes in fantastical ways that you'd never really think of, which is why I love Guillermo del Toro movies. But enough fanboying about the movie. Fauno is a main character you meet later on in the movie, and this entire movie is actually set during World War II. It's in the mid-40s, which I believe is the same time as Vanguard, and you know, you see actual soldiers and references to World War II during the movie. Fauno itself, though, is a cool creature design. I think it'd be a cool skin for something like a Halloween event, Pan's Labyrinth isn't necessarily a horror movie, but you do get some horror-esque vibes, especially with the creepy hand-eye monster thing that is in the movie. I'm not going to show much from that scene because it can be disturbing to see. If you want to see the full creepy hand-eye monster, you definitely just go look it up. But Activision could easily double dip and introduce both Fauno and that creepy eye thing as operators in skins for a Halloween event, which I think would be pretty cool. Now, before I share the last character here, I need to get a gripe off my chest. This is building up to the 5th operator idea, but just hear me out here. I don't understand why certain people think that every story that's set in World War II needs to be realistic. I've seen this idea pop up in a ton of complaints about Call of Duty Vanguard, but it's not just Vanguard. You see it in other games and films that take place in World War II. It's not like every World War II story needs to be something realistic that's like a documentary. Call of Duty is a fictional game in itself. The characters that you're playing as, they aren't real. Yes, it's set during a real war in real battles, and it's like these characters could be part of the war, but could is the key answer there. I don't understand the complaints in COD when there's literally zombies that exist in Vanguard, and it automatically says they can do whatever they want to in the story of Vanguard. It's not a hyper-realistic World War II game. Alright, I'll stop it right there. That's the end of my rant. With all that said, I welcome the crazy ideas. I think they're fun. I think it'd be crazy cool if Marty McFly from Back to the Future was an operator in Vanguard. You can easily also say Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty. The plots of Back to the Future and Rick and Morty are essentially the same. The characters are almost clones of each other. But unlike Granny, I don't think a Call of Duty take on Rick and Morty would go that well unless they put like an actual animated looking character into the game, like how they do with anime skins in Fortnite. But then if they actually did that, all the COD should be real people would be having a heart attack complaining the games like Fortnite and blah 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 blah. So that's why I'm just gonna stick with Marty McFly for the 5th operator. But yeah, Back to the Future involves time travel. They can go to any point in time. I don't think Doc and Marty went to World War II in the actual trilogy, but yeah, I think it'd be cool. Back to the Future is popular in pop culture, if not like just as popular as Indiana Jones, and supposedly they're already got that going in the works. Obviously the mainstream option would be Rick and Morty. They would sell way more skins and bundles and stuff if they'd made Rick and Morty an operator, but I just think that's more challenging and doesn't really make sense. But that brings me to the final point of this video. Does an operator need to make sense? I kept my list somewhat logical, but I want to hear what pop culture icons you think would work well in Vanguard. Regardless of how creative the character is, who or what do you want to see adapted in a Call of Duty game? Feel free to share down below in the comments. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. This started off as just me wanting to talk about Captain America and COD for an idea, and it branched off into a type of content that I don't really do much, but I thought it would be fun, and we'll see how it performs on YouTube. So make sure you like the video. If you did enjoy this, consider subscribing to the channel. And if you'd like to help support the channel directly, there are some links down below in the description that you can check out. Catch you on the next one. Peace.